What is your answer for number 1? Okay, that is correct. Very cater to different learning styles and keep students engaged. So why others are incorrect? Because for the letter A, specificity, so this focuses on clear learning objectives. Letter B is the progression. So this refers to building upon previous knowledge. And letter C is the individualization. So this involves tailoring instruction to individual needs. That's why the answer is letter D, the diversification. Number 4. What is your answer for number 4? Okay, very good. Your answers are correct. So the answer for the number 4 is letter C, observation checklist. Why it is observation checklist? Because observation checklist allows teachers to record qualitative data about students' behavior, skills, and participation during activities. So they provide insights into how students are learning and interacting. So why others are incorrect? For the letter A, fitness testing. So this is measures physical abilities providing quantitative data. And letter B is the skill test. So this typically measure performance through objective criteria yielding quantitative data. And for the letter D is the written exams. This primarily assess knowledge through written responses providing quantitative data. So that is why the answer is letter C, observation checklist. Let's proceed with number 5. So what is your answer for number 5? Okay, very good. Letter B, it increases student motivation and engagement. So why is the answer is B? Because providing choices gives students a sense of ownership and control over their learning. So this increases their motivation to participate and learn. So why others are incorrect? For the letter A, it reduces workload for the teacher. So while it can make lesson planning more complex, it doesn't necessarily reduce the workload. Letter C, it simplifies the assessment process. So this is not a direct benefit of providing choices. And letter D, it ensures all students achieve the same level of skill. So choices allow for differentiation, which doesn't guarantee equal skills level. So the answer for the number 5 is letter B. Number 6. So what is your answer for number 6? Okay, very good. The answer is letter C, being specific and actionable. Why it is the answer? Because effective feedback should be clear, focus on specific areas for improvement, and also provide actionable steps for students to take. So why others are incorrect? Also, letter A, being critical. So while constructive criticism can be helpful, it should not be the primary focus. Letter B, being frequent. So feedback should be timely and relevant, not necessarily frequent. Letter D, being delivered only after a performance. So feedback can be given throughout the learning process, not just at the end. So that's why the answer is letter C, being specific and actionable. Number 7. So what is your answer for number 7? Okay, very good. The answer is letter C. It depends on the skills and learner. Why it is the answer? Because the most effective teaching strategy for complex skills varies depending on the specific skill and the learner's prior knowledge, learning styles, and needs. So why others are incorrect? Letter A, whole part method. So this breaks down a skill into smaller parts and then teaches the whole. Letter B is the part whole methods, which is this teaches parts of a skill separately and then integrates them. Letter D, command style. So this is not usually effective for teaching complex skills as it doesn't allow for enough practice and feedback. So that's why the answer for the number 7 is letter C. Number 8. So what is your answer for number 8? Okay, very good. The correct answer is letter B, to cater to different learning styles. So why it is the answer? Because using varied teaching styles helps reach students with different learning preferences like the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and etc. So this ensures that all students have opportunities to learn effectively. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, to confuse students. So the goal is to engage, not to confuse, right? Letter C, to save time. So varied styles can sometimes take more time, but the benefits outweigh this. Letter D is to make the lesson more difficult. So this is not the intention. That's why the answer is letter B, to cater the different learning style. Number 9. So what is your answer for number 9? Okay, very good. The answer for number 9 is letter B. It increases students' engagement and motivation. So, because games can make learning fun and interactive, increasing student engagement and motivation. So, this can lead to better retention of information and skills. So, why others are incorrect? A, it simplifies assessment. So, game can be used for assessment, but they don't necessarily simplify it. So, that's why it's not the answer. Letter C, it reduces the need for direct instructions. So, game can complement direct instructions but they don't eliminate it. And letter D is eliminates the need for feedback. So, feedback is still important even when using games. That's why the answer for the number 9 is letter B. It increases students' engagement and motivation. Let's proceed with number 10. So, what is your answer for number 10? Yes, that's correct. The answer for number 10 is letter A, differentiated instructions. So why it is the answer? Because differentiated instructions involves tailoring instructions to meet the diverse needs of all learners. So this is essential for creating an inclusive learning environment where students feel supported and challenged. So why others are incorrect? For the letter B, standardized assessment. So this can be helpful but they don't address individual needs. Letter C, competitive activity. So this can be exclusionary and create a negative learning environment. That's why that's not the answer. Letter D is the strict discipline. So while discipline is important, it should not be the primary focus in an inclusive environment. That's why the answer is letter A, differentiated instruction. Number 11. So what is your answer for number 11? Yes, that's correct. The answer is letter B, portfolio assessment. So why it is portfolio assessment? Because it provides a holistic view of students' learning by allowing students to compile a variety of work over time, showcasing their skills, growth, and achievements across different areas. So, this method emphasizes the process of learning and can include reflections, projects, and presentations, giving a comprehensive pictures of a student's abilities. So, why others are incorrect? So, for the letter A, standardized test. So, this typically measures specific knowledge at a single point in time and do not account for the broader skills and competencies of students. Letter C, skills test only. So skill tests assess specific abilities but lack the comprehensive view that portfolios provide. Letter D, written exams only. So written exams focus on knowledge recall and do not capture the full range of a student's learning or skills. So that's why the answer is letter B, portfolio assessment. Number 12. So what is your answer for number 12? Yes, that's correct. The answer is letter C, by setting challenging yet attainable goals. So why it is the answer? Because setting challenging yet attainable goals helps promote self-efficacy by providing students with opportunities to succeed and build confidence in their ability. So this approach encourages persistence and resilience in learning. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, by providing only easy tasks. So this approach may lead to complacency and does not challenge students to grow. And letter B, by focusing solely on competition. So while competition can motivate some, it can also discourage others. That does not inherently build self-efficacy. And letter D, by ignoring students' mistakes. So ignoring mistakes prevents learning opportunities and does not support the development of self-efficacy. So that's why the answer is letter C. Number 13. What is your answer for number 13? Yes, that's correct. Very good. The answer for number 13 is letter B. It helps teachers improve their practice. So why it is the answer? Because reflection in teaching allows educators to evaluate their methods, understand student responses, and make necessarily adjustments to improve their teaching effectiveness. So it is a critical component of professional growth. So why others are incorrect. So for the letter A, it's unnecessary for experienced teachers. So reflection is valuable for all teachers regardless of experience as it fosters continuous improvement. For the letter C, it only benefits students. So while students benefit from reflective practices, teachers also gain significant insights and growth from the process. That's why it's not the correct answer. And last is the letter D. It's only relevant for assessment. So reflection is broader than assessment. So it encompasses all aspects of teaching and learning. That's why the answer is letter B. Let's proceed with number 14. So what is your answer for number 14? Yes, that's correct. The answer is letter B, problem solving approach. So why it is the answer? Because the problem solving approach is best suited for developing tactical awareness in team sports at it encourage students to think critically about game situations, makes decisions and adapt strategies based on real-time challenges. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, command style, so this approach is teacher-centered and does not promote critical thinking or tactical awareness. Letter C, drill-based instruction. So why useful for skills acquisition is that not foster the strategic thinking required for tactical awareness. And letter D is the lecture-based instructions. So this method is passive and does not engage students in active problem solving. That's why the answer is letter B, problem solving approach. Number 15. So what is your answer for number 15? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B. It enhances understanding and communication skills. So why it is the answer? Because peer teaching allows students to explain concepts to one another. So which deepens their understanding and improves their communication skills. So teaching others reinforces their own learning and encourages collaboration. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, it reduces the teacher's workload. So while it may be alleviated some burden, the primary benefit is in student learning, not workload reduction. Letter C, it eliminates the needs for assessment. So peer teaching does not replace assessment. It complements it by providing additional perspective on understanding. And letter D, it ensures all students achieve the same level of skills. Peer teaching recognizes individual differences and does not guarantee uniform skills level. So that's why the answer is letter B. Number 16. So what is your answer for number 16? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to ensure all students are challenged and appropriately. So why it is the answer? Because considering individual differences allows teachers to tailor their instruction to meet diverse needs, ensuring that all students are appropriately challenged and engaged in the learning process. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, to make the lesson easier for the teacher. So the goal is not to ease the teacher's burden but to enhance student learning. So that's why it is not the answer. Letter C, to reduce the need for differentiation. So understanding individual differences actually promotes differentiation rather than reducing it. Letter D, to create a more competitive learning environment. So the focus should be on collaboration and support, not competition. So that's why the answer is letter B. So number 17. So what is your answer for number 17? Yes, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to provide immediate feedback and enhance learning. So why it is the answer? Because technology in physical education can facilitate real-time feedback through various tools, so helping students understand their performance and make adjustments to improve their skills. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, to replace face-to-face instruction. So technology should enhance, not replace, personal interactions in teaching. Letter C, to eliminate the need for physical activity. So technology should support physical activity, not eliminate it. Letter D, to only focus on skill acquisition. So technology can also enhance engagement and learning processes beyond just skill acquisition. That's why the answer is letter B. Okay, for number 18, what is your answer for number 18? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to obtain a more comprehensive understanding of student learning. So what is the answer? Because using a variety of assessment methods allows educators to gather diverse data on student performance, capturing different aspects of learning and providing a fuller picture of student progress. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, to make assessment easier. So the goal is to enrich understanding, not necessarily to simplify the process. That's why that's not the answer. Letter C, to increase the workload for students. So while varied assessment may require more effort, the intent is to enhance learning, not to burden students. Letter D, to focus solely on quantitative data. So it is a variety of methods allows for both qualitative and quantitative insight into learning. So that's why the answer is letter B. Number 19. So what is your answer for number 19? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B. It provides direction and focus for instructions and learning. So what is the answer? Because clear learning objectives guide both teaching and learning, helping educators plan effectively and allowing students to understand what is expected. So which enhances engagement and motivation. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, it reduces the need for planning. So for clear objectives actually necessitate careful planning to align activities and assessment. Letter C, it eliminates the needs for assessment. So objectives informs assessment but do not eliminate their necessity. Letter D, it makes the lesson more challenging. So why? While objectives can guide challenges, their primary purpose is to clarify goals, not to increase difficulty. That's why the answer is letter B. So for number 20, what is your answer for number 20? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to ensure a safe and positive learning environment for all students. So why it is the answer? Because safety protocols in physical education are crucial for preventing injuries and ensuring the students can participate in a supportive and secure environment, which is essential for effective learning. So why others are incorrect? So to reduce Letter A, to reduce the teacher's liability. So while safety protocols can mitigate liability, their primary purpose is to protect students. Letter C, to make the lesson more structured. So structure is more important, but safety is the foremost concern. Letter D, to limit students' participation. So safety protocol should encourage participation by ensuring a secure environment, not limit it. So that's why the answer is letter B. So number 21. So what is your answer for number 21? Okay, very good. That's correct. The correct answer for the number 21 is letter C, authentic assessment. So why it is the correct answer? Because authentic assessment focuses on real-world application of skills and knowledge. So it evaluates the process of learning and the development of skills, not just the final outcome. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, norm reference assessment. So it compares students to a norm group focusing on relative performance. Letter B, criterion reference assessment. It is measures performance against predetermined standards, emphasizing mastery of specific skills. And letter D, summative assessment, evaluates learning at the end of a unit or course, focusing on the final product. That's why the answer is letter C, authentic assessment. So let's proceed with number 22. So what is your answer for number 22? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, identify areas for improvement during the learning process. So why it is the answer? Because formative assessment are designed to provide ongoing feedback and identify areas where students need support or adjustments to their learning. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, to assign final grade. So this is the purpose of summative assessment, not the formative assessment. Letter C, to compare students' performance against each other. So this is the focus of norm reference assessment. Letter D, to provide a final evaluation of students' achievement. So this is also the purpose of summative assessment. That's why the answer for the number 22 is letter B. Okay, so number 23. So what is your answer for number 23? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, by using a variety of teaching method and activities. So why it is the answer? So differentiated instructions, which includes using a variety of teaching methods and activities, is essential for catering to diverse learning styles and ensuring all students have opportunities to learn effectively. So why others are incorrect? So for the letter A, by focusing solely on one learning style. So this will include students who learn best through other modalities. Letter C, by ignoring individual differences. So this will not address the unique needs of students. Letter D, by providing only written instruction. So this will not be accessible to all learners, especially those with visual or learning disability. That's why the answer is letter B. Okay, let's proceed with number 24. So what is your answer for number 24? Okay, that's correct. Letter B, to enable continuous improvement and adjustment of instruction. So why it is the answer? Because feedback loops allows teachers to monitor student progress, identify areas for improvement, and adjust their teaching strategies accordingly. So this ensures that instructions is responsive to students' needs and promotes continuous learning. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, to ensure all students achieve the same results. So this is not realistic or desirable as students learn at different paces. Letter C, to reduce the teacher's workload. Feedback loops actually require effort and planning. Letter D, to eliminate the need for assessment. Feedback loops are an integral part of the assessment process. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 25. So what is your answer for number 25? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, guided discovery. So why it is guided discovery? Because guided discovery encourages students to explore, experiment, and find solutions to problems independently, fostering critical thinking and problem solving skills. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, direct instructions. So this focuses on teacher-led explanations and demonstrations, limiting student autonomy. And the letter C, command style. So this involves teacher directed instructions, not allowing for students exploration. Letter D, drill and participate. So this emphasizes repetition of specific skills, not problem solving. That's why the answer is letter B, guided discovery. Number 26, what is your answer for number 26? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, encouraging higher level thinking skills and analysis. So why it is the answer? Because effective questioning goes beyond factual recall and encourages students to analyze, synthesize, and apply their knowledge to real-world situations. So why others are incorrect? So A, focusing solely on factual recall. So this limits the depth of understanding and critical thinking. Letter C, asking only yes or no questions. So this restricts students' responses and does not promote in-depth thinking. Letter D, avoiding open-ended questions. So open-ended questions encourages more elaborate and thoughtful responses. That's why the answer is letter B. Let's proceed with number 27. So what is your answer for number 27? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, by using cooperative learning activities and group projects. So what is the answer? Because cooperative learning activities promote teamwork, communication, and shared responsibility, fostering a sense of community and collaboration. So why others are incorrect? Letter A, by emphasizing individual competition, this can create a diverse and competitive environment. Letter C, by ignoring student interaction. So this will not facilitate collaboration or community building. Letter D, by assigning individual tasks only. So this limits opportunities for students to work together and learn from each other. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 28. So what is your answer for number 28? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B. It helps teachers identify areas for improvement and refine their teaching strategies. So why it is the answer? Because reflection allows teachers to analyze their teaching practices, identify strengths and weaknesses, and make a judgment to improve their effectiveness. So why others are incorrect? So letter A, it unnecessary for experienced teacher. Reflection is valuable for teachers at all levels of experience. Letter C, it only benefits students. So reflection benefits both teachers and students. Letter D, it's only relevant for assessment. So reflection is a broader process that encompasses all aspects of teaching. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 29. So what is your answer for number 29? Okay, that's correct. By using technology to track individual progress and adapt instruction accordingly. So why it is that the answer? Because technology can be used to track students' progress, identify areas where they need to support, and provide personalized feedback and instruction. So why others are incorrect? So by na letter A, by using the same technology for all students. So this not address individual learning needs. Letter C, by eliminating physical activity and using technology only. So technology should enhance, not replace physical activity. And letter D, by ignoring individual learning preferences. Thus, this will not create personalized learning experience. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 30. What is your answer for number 30? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to ensure that activities are appropriate and challenging for students' physical and cognitive abilities. So why it is the answer? Because considering developmental stages ensures that activities are safe, age appropriate, and challenging enough to promote learning and growth. So why others are not correct? To make the lessons easier for the teacher. So this is not a primary goal. Letter C, to reduce the needs for differentiation. Developmental stages are a factor that requires differentiation. And letter D is to create a more competitive learning environment. This is not a relevant consideration. That's why the answer is letter B. So for the number 31, what is your answer? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, ecological approach. So why it is the answer? The ecological approach in physical education focuses on the interaction between the individual, the task, and the environment. So it emphasizes how these factors influence movement and skill development. The other options don't directly address the context and environment as a primary focus. Command styles is teacher-centered. Task test focuses on specific tasks, and reciprocal style involves peer teaching. That's why the answer is letter B, ecological approach. Okay, number 32. What is your answer for number 32? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to provide clear criteria for evaluating students' work and ensuring fairness. So why it is the answer? Because rubrics offer clear, predefined criteria for evaluating students' work, ensuring consistent and fair assessment, why rubrics can make assessment easier. So they can primarily about setting standards, not eliminating feedback or ranking students. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 33. So what is your answer for number 33? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter C, by fostering a sense of accomplishment and enjoyment in physical activity. So why it is the answer? Intrinsic motivation comes from within. Students are driven by the inherent satisfaction of the activity. External rewards, competition, and ignoring interests are extrinsic motivators. That's why the answer is letter C. Okay, let's proceed with number 34. What is your answer for number 34? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to help students understand and apply fundamental movement skills. So why it is the answer? So movement concepts like this space awareness, body management are fundamental buildings of physical skills. It will make lesson easier, reduce the need for instruction or limit participation. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 35. So what is your answer for the number 35? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter C, game analysis and observation. So why it is the answer? Because observing students during games allows for assessment of tactical understanding or decision making and strategy. Fitness testing and skill tests don't directly assess tactical knowledge. Written exams may be part of it, but observation during gameplay is more direct. That's why the answer is letter C. Number 36. So what is your answer for the number 36? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, by providing clear explanation and corrective feedback. So why it is the answer? Because directly addressing misconceptions with clear explanation and feedback is crucial for accurate learning. Ignoring focusing solely on skill execution or punishing are ineffective and potentially harmful. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 37. What is your answer for number 37? Okay, that's correct. Letter B, to develop students' movement competence and confidence to participate in a variety of physical activities throughout their lives. So, why it is the answer? Because physical literacy is about developing lifelong movement skills and confidence. It's not about producing professional athletes, reducing instruction, or limiting participations. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 38. So what is your answer for number 38? Okay, that's correct. Letter B, by including activities and games that reflects the diverse cultural backgrounds of students. So why it is the answer? Because culturally relevant pedagogy acknowledges and values students' diverse background. Ignoring differences, focusing only on Western sports, or using standardized curriculum fail to address cultural diversity. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 39, what is your answer for number 39? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to enhance students' observation skills and provide opportunities for feedback and reflection. So why it is the answer? Because peer assessment develops observation skills and encourages reflection. While it might reduce teachers' workload, it doesn't eliminate teachers' assessment or increase competition. That's why the answer is letter B. So for the number 40, what is your answer for the number 40? Okay, very good. The correct answer is letter B, by carefully planning and organizing activities, transitions, and equipment. So why it is the answer? Because effective time management requires careful planning of all aspects of the lesson. Rushing, ignoring constraint, or reducing activities are not effective strategies. That's why the answer is letter B. Okay, number 41. So what is your answer for number 41? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, criterion reference assessment. So why it is the answer? Because criterion reference assessment measures how well a student has mastered specific learning objectives or skills against a predetermined standard, not against other students' performance. Norm references assessments compare students to each other. Formative assessments are ongoing checks for understanding, and the summative assessment evaluates learning at the end of a unit. That's why the answer is letter B, criterion reference assessment. Number 42, what is your answer for the number 42? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter C. They may not accurately reflect individual progress. So why it is the answer? Because norm reference tests focus on ranking students relative to their peers. This means a student's score might improve but the rank might not change if everyone else also improves. They don't directly show mastery of specific skills or concepts, while they might discourage collaboration. So this is not the primary drawback. They are inherently too easy or time consuming. That's why the answer is letter C. They may not accurately reflect individual progress. Okay, for the number 43, what is your answer? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter C, rating scales or checklist. So why it is the answer? Because rating scales and checklist allows for a more nuanced evaluation of complex motor skills, considering multiple aspects of performance. So multiple choice tests and written exams are not suitable for assessing physical skills. Simple time trials only measure speed, not the quality of movement. That's why the answer is letter C, rating scales or checklist. Okay, for number 44, what is your answer? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, to monitor student learning and adjust instructions accordingly. So why it is the answer? Because formative assessment are designed to provide ongoing feedback during the learning process, allowing teachers to adjust their instructions to better meet students' needs. So they are not primarily for assigning grades, comparing students, or evaluating final achievement. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 45. What is your answer for number 45? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter C, observation with detailed notes and checklists. So why it is the answer? Because observation allows for both quantitative data, which is the number of times a student performs a skills correctly, and qualitative data, which is the descriptions of the student's movement, quality, effort, and strategy. While the standardized test and the simple skill test mainly provide quantitative data, and also the multiple choice questionnaires are primarily quantitative. That's why the answer is letter C. Number 46. So what is your answer for the number 46? Okay, that's correct. Letter B, it allows for assessment and real-world context, enhancing transferability of skills. So why it is the answer? Because authentic assessments require students to apply their knowledge and skills in realistic situations, making it more likely that they can transfer their learning to new context. So while easy to score can be a benefit in some cases, it's not the key advantage, and also it doesn't necessarily require minimal planning or eliminate other assessment methods. That's why the answer is letter B. Okay, for the number 47, what is your answer? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, providing students with clear criteria and opportunities for self-reflection. So why it is the answer? Because self-assessment requires students to understand the criteria for success and to reflect on their own performance. Teacher lets assessment alone, don't promote self-assessment, and also standardized testing and ignoring students' input are counterproductive. That's why the answer is letter B. Number 48, what is your answer for number 48? Okay, that's correct. It's letter C. They may not capture the nuances of students' learning throughout a unit. So why it is the answer? Because summative assessment only provide a snapshot of learning at the end of a unit. They don't offer ongoing feedback or information about the learning process, and also that they are inherently time consuming or easy to design. They don't provide feedback during the learning process, which is a key limitation. That's why the answer is letter C. Okay, let's proceed with number 49. So what is your answer for number 49? Okay, that's correct. Letter C, game analysis and observation with specific criteria. So why it is the answer? Because observing students during games, analyzing their decision-making strategies, provide research data on tactical understanding, that fitness testing, skill test, or written exam. That's why the answer is letter C. And for the last number is number 50. What is your answer for number 50? Okay, that's correct. The answer is letter B, by using multiple assessment methods and clear criteria. So why it is the answer? Because using multiple assessment methods reduces the chance that a single assessment will unfairly and inaccurately reflect a student's knowledge or skills. So clear criteria ensures that all students are assessed during the same standards. So on using only one type of assessment, ignoring individual differences or focusing solely on quantitative data can all lead to unfair or invalid assessment. That's why it is not the correct answer. The correct answer is letter B.